Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Hi, Brad.
Hey, Bradettes. Thank you for that little
Hey,
shout out.
Missed you a lot.
We're back on a Thursday, a rainy Thursday.
Supposed to snow.
It's gonna snow at some point. Okay, I want to start off with a little story, okay, about two friends. These two friends' names were Alma and Fred, and they were getting a little bit older, older in their teenage years, and Alma decided he was going to go on a mission, and Fred wasn't so sure, but Alma convinced him that they should go together. So they did, and they actually went to the same mission in England. And so they go throughout their mission, and Alma is, toward the end of his mission, he gets to be kind of in charge of all the travel for the missionaries. So as they're coming in and leaving England, he helps set up all the travel for them. So it comes time for Alma and his friend Fred and a few other missionaries to go home. And so Alma got tickets for everybody to, at that time they would go on a boat from England to the United States and back, and on a ship. Anyway, so they have all these tickets for the ship, and Alma has 8 tickets for 8 missionaries, but only 7 of them are there. And so he gets a message from Fred, and the message was, hey, I'm not gonna make it. You guys go ahead without me, and I'll get on the next ship and I'll see you at home. And Alma tells the other missionaries there, he says, no, we're gonna wait for Fred. We came out together, we're gonna go home together. And so then they sell the tickets, okay, and the missionaries were pretty bummed because this was a brand new ship, and they were excited to go on the very first maiden voyage on this ship, but they decided it was the right thing to do to wait for Fred. So they do, and a few days later, Fred gets there, they get new tickets, and they sail home. When they get there, they realize that the ship that they sold their tickets on was the Titanic.
Huh.
Do you guys remember what happened to the Titanic?
Yeah, it hit an iceberg and sunk.
Yeah. Most of the people who were on the Titanic died in the ocean, okay? And so Alma's talking to Fred, and he's like, Fred, you saved our lives. And do you know what Fred said? Fred said, Alma, by getting me on this mission, you saved my life. So they were both very grateful for one another, and remained friends for the rest of their lives. So today's thought is, I want to talk to you about your friends, okay? So when you're a teenager, even when you grow up, your friends are really important to you, right? They mean a lot. You want to spend a lot of time with them. And whether you're a teenager or an adult, your friends are very influential to you, okay? If your friends do things, you do things. And if your friends don't do things, you don't do things. So all of us, all of you in this van right now, you're all my friends, okay? And there are things that we do. We're nice to people. There's things we don't do as friends, okay? Do you guys know at the very end of the very first Harry Potter, Lucy and I just watched this, but and Jossie.
For the first time?
No.
For Jossie.
Jossie's first time. But at the end of that movie, you remember the scene with Dumbledore, and he's awarding the House Cup, and they're Slytherin's about to win, but then he announces the extra points from Hermione and Harry and Ron, and then they're tied. And then he says, and one more, and he gives points to what's the kid's name, Lucy?
Neville Longbottom.
Yes, Mr. Longbottom. And he says this, ready? This is what Dumbledore says. He said, "It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends." So, as friends, I want you guys to stand up for each other, okay? So, especially as you go throughout your teenage years, you might have opportunities to do good things together or bad things together, okay? So I want you to stand up for each other. So if you're in a situation where, you know, you're at friends' houses and there's alcohol or drugs or something like that, stand up for each other. You know, we don't do that as friends, okay? Or when you're with your friends, there's things that we want you to, you know, that you want to do, and I want you to be there for each other and stand up for each other as friends, and that will help you and your friends kind of stay on the right course and to not make mistakes that you would later regret, okay? So be there for each other and be a good friend. That's your Thursday thought for today.